In this video, we will be crocheting this very simple headband. It's a very beginner friendly project, and all you need to know is single crochet stitches. So you need a skein of yarn. I'm working with male cotton yarn, a 4.5 mm hook, a measuring tape, my darning needle. I have 2 stitch markers here and a pair of scissors. I'm just going to start by making a slip knot. You can do yours however you normally do it. So this is how this is one of the ways I do my slip knot. Just like that. And then we are going to do a few chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have 15 chain stitches right there, and mine measures around 4 inches. So depending on how wide you want your hairband to be, you can make more. So I'm just going to chain 1, and it's going to act as my turning chain. Then into the very first stitch, I'm going to insert my hook. I yarn over, I pull through. I have 2 loops on my hook now, and then I'm going to pull through both loops. In the next stitch, I'll insert my hook, I yarn over, I have 2 loops, and I'll pull through both loops. Then I'm going to grab a stitch marker, and I'll mark the very first stitch. This is important so that you don't add more stitches, or you will keep your edges straight. So we're just going to mark our very first stitch right there, and then we'll continue with single crochet stitches into every stitch. So single crochet stitch, next one you insert, place a single crochet stitch, and we're just going to keep on doing single crochet stitches till we get to our very last stitch. So here we are at our last stitch. I'm just going to insert my hook there, pull a loop, pull through both loops. So that right there is my slip knot. I'll just tighten it a bit. Then we are going to chain 1 to turn, so we can continue with our work. So chain 1 and turn. Then into the very first stitch from the hook, we are going to insert our hook, pull a loop, and then pull through both loops. In the next is insert, pull up a loop, pull through both loops. Then we are going to grab our second stitch marker, and we are going to place it into our very first stitch, such that when we turn our work and we come to the end, we'll know exactly where to place our stitches. So we're just going to do a repeat of what we did in the other round. So we are placing single crochet stitches into every stitch till we get to our very last stitch at the end, which has the stitch marker. Now we have made it to the end of our row. So we're just going to take out that stitch marker. Remember, that is our very first stitch we made on the other round. So we're going to take out that stitch marker, and we place a single crochet stitch there. And like I said, the reason we are doing this is to keep our edges straight. We don't want our work to become bigger or smaller as we go. So right there, we are going to chain 1 and turn our work, place a single crochet into the very first stitch, a single crochet into the second stitch, and then we are going to grab a stitch marker to mark our very first stitch there. right there. So we are just going to place single crochet stitches into every stitch till we get to the end of this round. And this is just a pattern. We are going to be doing a repeat of this till you get your desired length. You can put it against your head and try to stretch it a bit to see the length that is going to fit your head. So I'm just chaining one there a turn, and I'll just be doing a repetition of what we have been doing. So just continue doing your single crochet stitches and placing your stitch markers so that your edges will be straight, and I'll meet you when you have your desired length. So now I have my desired length. I'm just going to chain one right there. So I'm cut off my yarn from the ball. I'll just pull that through to secure the end, and this is what I have. Now we have to join both ends. That is our next step. So I grab my darning needle. I've cut a piece of yarn. I'm just going to thread that, and then I tie the end of my yarn. So I want to join both ends. Make sure you line them well so that you will, because we'll be going in through the corresponding stitches. Into the very first stitch, I'm going to insert my darning needle, and into the very first stitch on the other side, I'm just going to arrange that. There you go in, pull like that. And then we are going to go through our loops from the inside out. So I'm going through both loops from the inside, and then I pull, and then on the other side I'm going through both loops from the inside too, outwards. On this side I'm going through both loops coming from the inside, outwards, and I'm going to repeat the same thing on that side. So it's inside out on each side. So this is how we are joining our work. So you're just going to do this till you reach the very end. Now I'm making a slip knot because I want to make a strap. I'm going to chain 40 chain stitches, and that's my very last one. So I'm going to cut off my yarn there, and then I pull. I have a little tail there. So I'm going to grab my work where we did the joining. Now we're just going to be rubbing on the same spot where we have our seam. So we are concentrating, we are not spreading out. Just go over and over on the same spot, just like that. And then when you're done rubbing, you can tie the tail of the yarns in the inside part. Tie it about 3 times to secure. Then you can use a darning needle to thread in your ends, or tying it multiple times. I've already secured it already, so you can just go ahead and cut off the excess yarn, and it is that simple. Just this, and you have a beautiful headband. So I've tied where I've secured. I'm just going to cut off my excess yarn, and there we go. We have our beautiful headband. Thank you very much for watching.